Hi everybody, so nice to see you again. So we are in the last hours of TechEd, but we still have great content ahead of us, Ceci, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I can't believe the time has gone by so quickly. I mean,
Yeah,
it feels like just yesterday we were starting off the pre-show, and that was
Yeah.
already, what, like 46 hours ago, right?
Yeah,
'Cause it's
more or less, yeah.
49
Yeah.
minus 3.
And we just woke up and we just went to bed yesterday at 1 a.m., right? After 3 very, very cool sessions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
fantastic.
it's an intense journey, but it's definitely been a
Oh
very
yeah,
fun
and very fun,
interesting
absolutely.
one.
You
Yeah.
didn't see us dancing here, but I think it's also good.
I don't think anybody needs to see that.
No,
It was
no.
yesterday, it was 1 a.m., we were tired. You know,
Yeah.
we have our great production staff here that are playing us music so that you stay awake
So
during
it was
the break.
Macarena song,
Yeah.
Thriller,
Yeah.
and what else? Your special song with the special movements with the roof, and okay, we don't.
Let's not get into that.
Let's not get into that.
Let's not cover that. But anyway, we are going to miss the tech at home. We are going to miss Channel 1. We are going to miss being here with you guys and kind of sharing the whole experience with you. But the most important thing, and I've said it once, I've said it a million times, the learning journey does not end here. So remember, you can go into the Keep Learning tab, for example, on the sapteched.com website, and just check out all the learning opportunities that we have for you to continue your learning experience and your learning journey. You can also hop into the community.sap.com. If you're not a member yet, recommend that you sign up. I think we have like 3 million or over 3 million members. So register there. You can also kind of continue the Q&A aspect and just interact with the rest of the community and see what's up.
Yeah, and
But yeah, what's coming up for this hour then?
so this hour will be a focus on low code and no code. So it's all about how companies can actually handle the lack of developers in the industry, how the existing developers can be more productive. And for that, we will have now in the next hour an expert interview with Bhagat and Maureen. We will also have a demo around SAP's low-code, no-code solutions in action. We will have then also a partner interview with Sebastian and Thomas. And for the expert Q&A, we will actually have Bhagat on stage together with Sebastian.
Yeah, not physically on stage, but virtually up here with us.
Yeah, they will be showing up here then.
We'll see them. We'll be able to talk to them.
So, and to raise the questions, as already said a couple of times, go to the Q&A tool. The Q&A tool is here, right, at the top.
If you're watching us on the website,
That's the most important one.
sapteched.com.
So
remember.
click there and then submit your questions that we can also then later on put up on the expert Q&A. And with that said, I would now like to welcome our experts. So we have here Maureen Fleming, who is VP for Intelligent Process Automation Market Research at IDC. And we have Bhagat Nainani, who is an SVP for SAP, for product development at SAP. So good to see you here with us.
Yeah, they just kind of floated right in. That was very cool.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Nice.
Thanks for joining.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having us.
So we just briefly introduced the topic about low-code, no-code, but we would like to get a bit deeper into the topic for our audience together with you. So, Maureen, where are we now with low-code today, and what does it actually also mean for 2021 and beyond? Also a topic maybe perception versus reality. Maybe you can talk a bit about that and what you think about this.
Sure. So I think the perception versus reality is the interesting part of it. A lot of people perceive that professional developers really don't use low code or don't like using low code. And our research shows that more than 51% of full-time professional developers actually use low code regularly in their jobs. Another perception is that low code is only really used for easy things to do, simple, straightforward development. And when you look at the evolution of this market, low code originated with visual design, model-driven development techniques, and it's always been used to build complex systems, and it's considered high productivity development that is maybe sometimes too expensive to build using a coding technique. So the origins are actually complex application development, And now we're seeing simplification come in so that you can actually build things in a more straightforward way. Another perception is that the only kind of thing you do with low code is build applications. But in fact, there's a whole rich set of platforms that are low code based, so that you could build automation using RPA with low code. You can use, you can do integration with low code, and pretty much anything that's got a build component to it is now delivered, at least in early generation of low code. So those are the perceptions and realities about that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Thank you so much, Maureen, for elaborating on that. So, Bhagat, what does this mean for SAP then? What are we doing in the low-code, no-code space?
Yeah, as you know, SAP has been delivering market-leading applications for HR, supply chain, ERP, customer experience. And with these low-code tools, essentially what you can do is easily extend these applications. You can build new applications that use the services within these, create automations or business processes, or create sort of role-based experiences. So we've had these model-driven systems, application development and automation for a while, but what has changed recently is the simplification. We have integrated these and significantly elevated the experience. So with that, it's not just you have a new class of developers, citizen developers or line of business experts who can build applications, but also significantly sort of improve productivity of the professional developers. Just earlier this week at TechEd, we launched our low-code, no-code app dev offering with SAP AppGyver and Business Application Studio, and we previewed our process automation, bringing together our RPA and workflow capabilities. As Maureen mentioned, it's all about sort of improving productivity. It's about reuse. It's about composing to sort of build these using in a model-driven way. And so in addition to the tool, what we've also been doing is focusing on reusable content, pre-built bots, pre-built process packages, widgets that you can readily use to quickly develop application. And this really significantly reduces the time to value and to get your business outcomes quickly.
Excellent. And that also kind of ties into what Maureen was saying about it's not just about building applications, right? It's also about the process automation part, the enhancing the productivity, and kind of all those extra add-ins that you can support. So, Maureen, let's take it back to you then. One of the questions that we've been seeing in the community a lot is about enterprise readiness. Do you think that low-code, no-code can really kind of deliver on the sophistication that is required for enterprise applications?
Yeah, enterprise readiness is a really interesting term because you can unpack it in a couple different ways. The way that I unpack it first is to look at, is it enterprise grade? And by enterprise grade is the platform that you want to use. Is it able to scale to what is needed? Is the development environment rich enough so that you can do common things that you'd expect to be able to do inside your organization? Does it integrate with DevOps? Does it work well? Is it testable? Those, and also, is it governable and secure? So those are enterprise grade qualities that you can see across a whole lot of different low-code environments today, and you've been able to see that for a while. The second part is about enterprise readiness. Is individually to each organization? Does that platform, that low-code platform, really align with and access all the assets that we've developed so that we can get greater leverage? How much does it cost to actually build using one platform or another when you compare it with leverage? So those two things need to be considered.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
I really liked these two aspects between enterprise grade and enterprise readiness because, you really need to have all the capabilities. Let's say also the maybe features that you actually don't see, like for example security built in, which really at the end makes it really something that you can use really for productive systems. And I'm wondering, Bhagat, how does the SAP Business Technology Platform provide these enterprise readiness, these capabilities that are needed for such applications?
Sure. At SAP, we don't look at sort of these low-code and pro-code apps as totally different islands. In fact, all of the low-code, no-code apps are also built on the same technology foundation, which is the Business Technology Platform. And even SAP AppGyver, which we acquired recently, now runs on the Business Technology Platform. So all of these apps share the same application programming model, the same design system, the same runtimes, and hence they inherit all of those enterprise scale capabilities around security, scalability, the IT governance that goes around it. And so you get all of those inherently by being built on top of the platform. The other thing is, we spend a lot of energy on the developer continuum, right? So, you can start with no code or low code, but as your requirements evolve, then you may use low code tools to create services, and then even switch to code to actually create more, deeper sort of business logic or create new data models or services. So, you could have different types of developers collaborate on the same platform. Right. And talking about sort of enterprise grade, we also built in a lot of native integration with our SAP LOB apps, right? So, for example, now you can connect to our SuccessFactors applications, our S4 applications, and this makes it very easy for you to extend these applications and easily sort of use these low-code tools to get higher productivity. As you may have seen in Jürgen Müller's keynote, he showed how in a CX application, C4C application, you could extend the service app with new panels, but then also have create new services using our low-code tools to connect back to the spare part system and get inventory and other order spare parts, all done using a combination of sort of no-code and low-code tools.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I think that, so going back to kind of that governance topic that Maureen was mentioning and tied into what Bhagat explained, this is also something that came up in the executive Q&A. So we were doing the executive Q&A right after the keynote, and like you mentioned, it was actually, so Jürgen and the team actually demoed how you can use AppGyver to kind of extend the CX portfolio, I think it was. And one of the questions that came up was, yeah, okay, but are low-code, no-code, is there really a governance in place for low-code, no-code tools? It's something that would be sustainable and scalable in the future. And I think all the qualities that you mentioned, since we're building on BTP, we're not just doing something that's separate to the entire structure, then it really does carry on those same enterprise grade and enterprise readiness qualities. Yeah. Right, Bhagat?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and we also had it yesterday, I mean, specifically the topic around security, where also Joe Campbell was talking about how actually all these aspects about security are really integrated already within all the applications. So also, I think important to understand that SAP is the biggest customer of SAP, right? Where we are drinking our own champagne and using it with, or water, yeah, it's not champagne, it's water. Using this within our own portfolio to really make these capabilities usable. But I think I have also one question towards Maureen. You just said at the beginning that already 51% of customers are already using low-code, no-code capabilities and tools. What examples do you actually see, concrete examples where customers are adopting these technologies?
Yeah. I've had a couple of conversations over the past couple of weeks. So I want to give two examples that I think are interesting that sort of are really spot on with, with the trends. The first is where one customer was making a decision about implementing a new platform, and they finally got to one versus another bake-off. So two vendors baking off. And what they found was that that they had one system that was absolutely amazing performance and runtime that they loved. And then the second system had a low code front end. And so what happens is you go to the speed and performance and runtime rather than the development environment, because you're using developers to build the stuff. And in this case, because they had such tight SLAs for time to market, they could not afford to spend cycles on doing really the development and training up everyone to skill. So they actually took the less performance system that was good enough, but not the best, and they opted for the development, the low-code development environment. So that was critical. And another conversation was really tied to the development lead in this organization that could not have developers spend their time doing tactical development when there was low code capabilities out there. So he created a new tier inside the organization and hired some lesser skilled developers, and then diverted his high skilled developers to working on things that they do really well, and diverted the other work to this new layer. And that other layer then started working with the business team to start having them start doing their own development as well. So it came out of the development team to make this change, and now is pervasive in the organization about how they start dealing with tactical development activities.
Excellent. And I think that's also a great example of how you're trying to bridge the gap between business and IT, because like you mentioned, these low-code developers, or citizen developers as we call them, we're really going into the business and also teaching them maybe a few low-code, no-code capabilities that they could actually use instead of kind of going to the development teams. And then we have the pro-code, which are really working on those business-critical, more complicated extensions or applications.
Yeah. Actually addressing also the point that you had before with the productivity increase of those developers, right? So that you can do more with the existing workforce. So that's fantastic.
Great. But Bhagat, I'm sure you also have maybe some SAP customer examples that are leveraging our low-code, no-code capabilities on BTP. Do you mind sharing some?
Sure, let me cover. I mean, there was one interesting point that Maureen made, right? I mean, in the first example, they had to make a choice between sort of this high performance environment versus a high productivity environment. And, as I mentioned, I mean, the big advantage we have with our low-code offering is, since it's built on top of the BTP, it's actually inherits all of the same performance capabilities, right? So we have many big enterprises sort of using it for, mission critical applications. So let me give you one example. I'll give you a couple. So DHL, which is, a global leader in logistics, they have a freight department, and their freight department, has lots of trucks and trailers. And as they are handed off between different drivers, or they reach a certain destination, they go through inspections, and they have to inspect the damage on the trailers. And they were doing all of that manually. It was manually recorded, and then eventually someone would enter it into their asset management system. And with SAP AppGyver, in a matter of few weeks, they were able to develop a mobile app, Android and iOS, as well as a web app, to actually capture those damage reports in real time and then connect it back to their asset management system. So with that, not only the reports become much more reliable, they were also able to significantly improve productivity of their field service technicians. So, this is an example of, a massive fleet, for freight, with freight trailers and trucks, which they were able to now use AppGyver very effectively to, get inspection reports. Another example is Verge Motorcycles. They are a leading manufacturer of custom-made electric motorcycles. So they allow customers to sort of completely configure the motorcycle and the different aspects, the features they would like in it. And they have a highly customized manufacturing system. So they needed apps to capture the work in progress monitoring, as well as they created a product configurator that their customers would use to actually configure the motorcycle. And that was all built using our no-code tools. The dashboard in the motorcycle itself was also built with AppGyver. So these are just a couple of examples, but there are many other customers in varying stages of implementation.
That's great. I mean, this talk was fantastic. It was a great way to start off, I think, the low-code, no-code hour. So yeah, a big thank you to you guys, and I hope you continue enjoying Channel 1 and TechEd.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
So I think we will have now a demo that we have prepared around low-code, no-code with AppGyver, the BizApp Studio, and the SAP Process Automation. So have a look how this really looks in action.
Hello and welcome, TechEd folks. It's so wonderful to be here. Thank you for tuning in. I am going to show you an end-to-end demo scenario of our new low-code, no-code offering on BTP. With this demo, you're going to see how, thanks to our new unified low-code, no-code offering, your company can boost productivity and become more agile and innovative. In the demo, I'm going to be the head of customer strategy for AirX, a company that maintains and manufactures heating and cooling services. As I get started in the morning, I open my SAP Workzone. I've created my own digital experience. It shows me all the information and connects to all the applications I need to get my work done on a daily basis. I can approve open items, and I can see my business KPIs at one glimpse in one place. Let me first take a look at all my open items. Perfect. I've been able to approve and clear them all. Now, I know that recently we had severe problems with our customer processes in the call center. So I'm now going to take a look at my process visibility dashboard. Looks good. 99% of our processes have been processed within 24 hours. That's great, and right within our SLAs. I can also see that our customer satisfaction rate is up. That's really great. I'm super thrilled to see all of these positive involvements. Until a week ago, our customers were complaining every time they had to request a spare part for their systems or even a new replacement system. They reported mistakes and severe delays when ordering those. We dove deeper into the problem with SAP Process Insights and were able to identify two main problems. Every time we had an incoming customer call, we first had order entry errors. That means the service agent had to jump between different systems to actually request the new machine or replacement part, and had copy-paste errors. That means the order was wrong and therefore delayed. The second problem we had was the approval process. So after the spare part or the replacement machine had been ordered, it needed to be approved by management. And this approval was being done by email, taking long between different people, so it was everything but not efficient. The problem was urgent and needed to be resolved as soon as possible. Unfortunately, our IT department said that they had very, very little time to help us. So let me show you now how we solved this problem in just 1 week's time. Luckily, Frank, our operations lead of the call center, had recently upskilled to becoming a citizen developer. So let me show you how Frank built an app using SAP AppGyver. He starts his experience in the unified project overview of our low-code, no-code solutions on BTP. First of all, Frank wanted to help our service agents become more efficient. He used the SAP AppGyver Composer Pro to build an on-screen interface for an app. With this app, the service agents would be able to order new replacement machines or spare parts directly out of SAP Service Cloud. The drag and drop controls and data fields from the component library made it easy to create a straightforward UI, which is simple to coordinate and leaves little room for mistakes. Frank then used the SAP AppGyver backend capabilities to connect his new app to S/4HANA. This would allow him to fetch the customer equipment data. In the meantime, our IT colleagues helped create a new data model that would fetch the stock and pricing data from our vendors. We wanted to make sure that every time a service agent ordered a replacement machine or spare part, it would be rapidly available to our customers. This new data model was built using the new low-code experience of SAP Business Application Studio. Frank leveraged this new data model in his app built in AppGyver. And just like that, within 1 week, Frank was able to build an extension to SAP Service Cloud, fetching data from S/4HANA plus external data, and that way helping our service agents to assist our customers just from within one screen. Now we had solved the first problem. We had made the service agents more productive and reduced all their errors. Now we wanted to tackle the second problem, that is, streamlining and speeding up the approval process on management side. We used SAP Process Automation to build an approval workflow connected to the SAP AppGyver app that we just saw. First, we're going to set a trigger that starts the workflow every time a new replacement machine or spare part is requested through the app in Service Cloud. But of course, not all customers call. Some also send emails. So we set a second trigger to the workflow, which leverages a RPA bot that extracts data from those emails and also triggers the approval workflow. Lastly, we also wanted to give our customers the option to order the spare parts or the replacement machines directly online. For this, we added a third trigger, which is a form, and we built the form in SAP Process Automation using the drag and drop UI. We also added a rule to the workflow. Approvals were only needed if the spare parts were more expensive than 50 euros. Then we added some business logic to determine the approver automatically. This only takes a few steps. First, I added a decision for approver determination. Then I added a policy and configured a decision table. This will automatically define the approver for each request. And that's it. We have built our approval workflow and can now deploy it with just a few clicks and make it available to all our service agents. This is how we were able to solve our 2 broken processes in customer service in just 1 week's time. We extended SAP Service Cloud using SAP AppGyver, SAP Business Application Studio for low-code development, and SAP Process Automation, and integrated with S/4HANA fetching data, plus also fetching external data. And all of this without writing a single line of code. And of course, this is just an example. Think of the many processes and applications you're now able to build and extend in your company using our new low-code, no-code offering. And all of that, of course, across all lines of business and in all industries. With SAP's new unified low-code, no-code offering on BTP, you can unlock your capacity to innovate while reducing the total cost of development. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of TechEd, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions, either directly or on the SAP community.
So thank you, Diana, for showing how our low-code, no-code capabilities actually work together to build a custom extension for an SAP application. I think that was a great demonstration of really how our portfolio, again, it works together, so they're not just separate entities, but you can really leverage the different capabilities that we offer and create one extension for your applications to boost the productivity of your end users and just make lives easier. Now, next up, we're going to take a look at a partner interview where Sebastian Schroto is going to be talking to Thomas Neuhaus from Agilita, and they'll be talking about low-code, no-code, and really what's the impact on pro-code developers and what it means for the future of development in general. So let's take a look at the video.
Welcome, TechEd 2021. I'm super excited to be again here at the TechEd stage, and especially now here in Channel 1. My name is Sebastian Schrötel. I'm responsible for SAP's low-code, no-code strategy. Low-code, no-code is a hot topic and a highly discussed topic at this TechEd. So I'm especially excited about all the new stuff that we are going to show you in this very event. This nice chat will not be only with me. So I'm very happy today that I have the chance to talk together with Thomas Neuhaus from Agilita about how low-code, no-code is used by our SAP partners, but then also brought finally to our customers. Welcome, Thomas.
Hi, Sebastian. Glad to be here with you on the TechEd stage, Channel 1. Yeah, I'm the responsible for digital experience on Agilita and the customer from Agilita. And it's very nice to talk with you here about the low-code, no-code. And we have a lot of experience and a lot of ideas that we can talk in the next few minutes.
Before we go deeper into what Agilita offers their customers in the low-code, no-code space, let me quickly recap SAP's low-code, no-code suite, and also especially put a focus on what we are going to look at in this very talk right now. SAP's low-code, no-code suite basically consists of 3 main parts that are, of course, also supported are by our business process intelligence offering with Signavio, Qualtrics, and a common marketplace. But today we want to focus especially on our 2 parts of our low-code, no-code suite that offer our developers the core low-code, no-code experience. And the 2 main use cases we are offering our new experience in the business technology platform are automation with, in the past, and as of now, we have SAP Workflow Management and SAP Intelligent Robotic Process Automation. And new here at TechEd, this is the big news of this event, is we are going to launch a citizen developer ready end-to-end solution that LOB experts that do not have complete experience coding skills can build workflows and RPA bots in one. Next to it, we have what we call application composition. Here, we offer for the professional developers an SAP opinionated workbench where professional developers with in-business application studio can build SAP extensions. For the citizen developers, we have the newest addition to the SAP family, SAP AppGyver, which also here at TechEd, you can learn more about how, for example, SAP AppGyver can extend SAP Cloud for Customers. So now, Thomas, Agilita has been in the business together with SAP for now 20 years. And in these 20 years, you gained a lot of experience on what customers are asking for and where's the pain point of our customers, and also where do customers, want more than what is provided by the standard. Low-code, no-code is certainly a more recent topic where you might have gotten in the last years more and more requests. So what do your customers ask for in the low-code, no-code area?
Thank you, Sebastian. Yeah, I think the questions are beginning long time before. I think as I was also 20 years in the SAP business, and with starting with some stuff like the interfaces. Some popular things with an integration suite. You start in the right way. In the low code, you can mappings with low code. That's one of the good things the customer. Then again, you come from you say also from the last TechX, you come with the RPA. The RPA is changing with the new studio. You have you have a great studio with low code. Or the people, the citizen developer or the business people going through there and make them. We have a lot of customer. They use the RPA with the low code studio. And what's next? What's next? All the screens, what you have, the user interfaces, that was not possible before. For a business user, you create your own ID, your own data, what they need on the screen, and now it's possible with the Appgyver. And that's the question: what's coming next about RPA low code? What we can do in the user interface? And the answer you give this February, now again in the October, with the SAP Appgyver.
Yeah, I still remember that one use case that you from Agilita supported, where you build an RPA bot within one business day to basically automate parts of the S4HANA migration. So that was also a very, very good signal on how efficient low-code, no-code can be. But there's an elephant in the room. So, and this especially is also the case. This especially targets this your great engagement that you have with your customers. And the misconception is a bit, and we both get this question from IT departments, as well as also from customers that look at the partner business. And the misconception is a bit, with low-code, no-code, everyone can now start to build application extensions and RPA bots. What is then the future role of professional developers in IT department, and also our very professional partners that support our customer end-to-end implementation? So how would you react to this misconception?
Yeah, I understand the misconception, but always when you have new things, you have also new challenges, new chances. And I think the good way is that one way is we have more developer in the future that can work on user interfaces and automation and integration. That's one of the great things. Well, we have not enough resources. When you look at young people, they coming out of the studium, they have IT studium, your other studiums, and they have the possibility to start with low code, no code, some user interface, some automation doing, and that's the good thing. On the professional, I think the professional developer, also the partner that they have, the professional developer, they have more capacity with business people. They work, they understand also what they need on the front, on the desktop or user interface. And the other good things is we can do more in the detail. A partner can create their own application on SAP on top. I think on an industry cloud, on an extension, on a special thing. That's the possibility. And for me, so it's a great world. Always when something change, we must also change.
Agree. This is a very nice view on that. And I mean, that's the nice thing with low code, no code. I mean, it does not take anything away from the experts that are already in place. It just adds more efficiency, and it also can relieve some of the burdens that your consultants or the professional developers in IT departments would have. And in that way, actually, low code, no code democratizes a bit the software development world. And this is a nice thing. And this is also something when we look into the future. So Thomas, very, very openly spoken, where do you see it going in the next years?
I think in the next year, we have a lot of new extension, a lot of new ideas. What we get from customer impacts also from customer. They create new things, new ideas, new business models, a new idea what is coming on. And I think we have in the future, we have this citizen developer like a super user or a business user that work with this tool. We have the professional developer. They build some hard stuff, good application, future application, RE applications, and so on, the whole stuff. I think the both worlds have the possibility, and we as Agilita, as partner from SAP, go this way and make also possible that we have the developer, my own developer there, or professional developer, but all consultants what we have for the business consulting, they can also build in future their own user interface for the customer.
Speaking about use cases and what customers ask you, Thomas, to help them in realizing with. So what would you say are killer use cases that Agilita implements together with customers in that space?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of use cases. We're starting with the integration suite and also with the RPA. They have a lot of business owners have built, they take Signavio, make the normal process analysis and say, oh, that's a process that is great. They go the way with an automation like the RPA, and after is finished, and then I see, hey, I need after the RPA, the automation, I need an additional UX, a user interface, and they have the possibility now with Appgyver. I have one example like a simple list from a SAP Sales Cloud. They need a simple list, and this list was not possible, but the OData API service was there, and the user take Appgyver, makes his own list, and have also the normal CRUD function from the OData, and can work with that. We have only teach the customer how they must work in the Appgyver, and they make the finish and work with his own user interface.
So I'm very excited about this TechEd and also about the other sessions that we will offer during that very TechEd. So also feel free, everyone who's watching us now at Channel 1, feel free also to later on dig deeper into the sessions around SAP Process Automation, SAP AppGyver, Business Application Studio, to even experience on your own the efficiency gains with low-code, no-code. And even after the TechEd week, feel free to also make use of the vast replay functions. Maybe even if theoretically you would be bored at Christmas morning, you can also do one or the other TechEd lesson, theoretically spoken, of course. So with that, from my side, I wish you all the best and the best learning at this TechEd. Thank you very much, Thomas Neuhaus. It was a really amazing chat with you, and happy TechEd.
Thank you very much.
All right. When something changes, we must also change. I think that's the phrase that really got me during the partner interview. That was fantastic. And I think that's something that is true not only in technology, but in everyday life. All right. So next up, we will have the expert Q&A. As we mentioned before, we're going to have Bhagat back, and he's going to be with Sebastian Schrodel, so they'll be able to answer your questions. Remember, if you haven't done so already, please register, saptecha.com, and you can start submitting your questions on the left side of the screen in the Q&A tool. All right, and with that, I would like to say hello to our experts. So Bhagat Nainani and Sebastian Schrodel, please come on stage. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. All right, we already have several questions in the Q&A tool. Rui, where should we start?
Yeah, I have a one which was voted highest, and I think a very valid one. So what is the necessary knowledge to start working with low-code and no-code?
So let me answer that maybe
Sure.
quickly. Low-code, no-code is what we call as a citizen developer is someone who is tech savvy. But who is tech savvy nowadays? Most of us have a mobile phone and play around with it or have some sort of IoT in their smart home. That's enough basically to start working with low-code, no-code tools. And the rest, especially with SAP AppGyver or SAP Process Automation, it's that easy that with a basic understanding of how technology works, you can build your first use case. And then the principle is you learn as you go. That means the more you build, the more you learn how to build also more complex use cases.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And one thing I'll add there is there are actually the learning tools are built into these tools itself. So if you use AppGyver, it actually guides you as you're building. So it makes it very easy to sort of build applications and learn while you're building.
Right. So there's like in-app help directly in AppGyver.
Absolutely.
Cool. Excellent. All right, let's go with the next question then. Sebastian, I think this one would also be for you. Would AppGyver be leveraged to develop Fiori? And is it a replacement for Build for prototyping UIs?
Mm-hmm. So in the future, we are also embedding more SAP technology into AppGyver. That will also include SAP UI5 based technology. So step by step, we will see AppGyver incorporating more building functionality or maker functionality, how you called it, into the tooling. Does it replace the build tool? Some of you might know the build tool in the past, and truly yes, with SAP AppGyver, you can also build simple prototypes if this is something that you want. Of course, it's not a one-to-one replacement to the build tool as of now, but you can build similar use cases with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much, Sebastian. And questions come in. So a very interesting one, also around handing off.
The developer continuum, right? So it was Bhagat mentioned before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do platforms like AppGyver have the option to hand off the project to pro-code developers to further refine the solution once the initial version of the solution is achieved using no code? I'm not sure, Bhagat, if you want to take on this one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think when you look at the new generation of these no-code tools, they're not code gen in the traditional world where you look at it, hey, they generate code, and then it's more about composition and reuse and taking different components and using them to sort of build your application. So with AppGyver, you can build a lot of the application with no code. You can do business logic without code, but then you can also use a lot of components that have been created in the pro code world. So, for example, you may go into Business Application Studio or even VS Code, and you may create a service and then expose that service and use it. Or you may have reusable widgets or web components that you can then use. So that's how, you have the low code and the pro code collaborate and sort of be able to build these type of applications.
Excellent.
But the main thing is that they run on the same platform, so they inherit. I mean, when it comes to the IT guardrails around CI/CD and the scalability, they inherit all of those same capabilities when it comes to deployment and the lifecycle part of it.
Yeah.
That's great. And actually, that's related to a second question that we have here, because at the beginning of the hour when we were doing the interview with Maureen, we also talked about enterprise readiness. You also mentioned, since we're leveraging the built-in capabilities of SAP BTP, then there are certain things that come out of the box. And we have a question here that I just oh, here it is. How does low-code, no-code avoid performance issues? So Bhagat, you want to maybe enhance on that?
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, exactly the way I mentioned, right? I mean, what happens is, if you look at BTP, BTP has a runtime that, is elastic and allows you to scale. And the apps that you develop with the low-code tool run on the exact same platform. It's not, I mean, one of the things, that caught my attention is, in the example, one of the examples that Maureen gave is the customer had to choose between a high performance runtime and a, high productivity tool. With SAP, you don't have to make that choice. The same low-code apps run on the same platform, so you inherit all of those security capabilities. So one of the things we did with Appgyver is integrated with our security layer. It runs on the same runtime, inherits the same lifecycle management, same IT governance capabilities. All of those get inherited. So it's just like, once you've developed it, it's just like any other cloud-native application.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, thanks, Bhagat. And again, like we heard also yesterday during the security session, right? Really, this inheritance of certain capabilities for all these solutions on top is really a very powerful capability that the business technology platform has. So we have more questions coming in. Let me just see here.
I have a short one. Maybe Sebastian, for you. So the question, this also came up in the developer keynote, which is kind of why I like it. It says, when should we use AppGyver and when should we use SAP MDK?
So very clearly, I mean, SAP AppGyver is our no-code tooling. So this is the start point for every citizen developer for us. MDK, also with Business Application Studio, is our professional developer world. So it's for professional developers that also want to benefit from the efficiency gains of low code.
Thank you.
I have here another one around the scope of AppGyver, looking into the components. So it says the components, menus, and forms are comparatively small, so the number of these components, and the layout options are very simple. So do we have more templates to come and any custom layout that can be imported?
Yes, so we are constantly enhancing that library there. In fact, in the December release, you will see many more components getting added, and a lot of it is based on feedback that we are getting from early adopters as well as LOBs that are starting to adopt it. Also, you'll see that it's integrated with the marketplace. So we can get components from the community, and they can contribute, and then you can reuse them within your application. So there's going to be both SAP provided components as well as our partners and our customers can provide components through the marketplace.
Excellent. I have a very interesting question here, and it's about the free tier, let's say. So the question is basically, when will AppGyver be part of the free tier offering of BTP? Here it says trial, but as we know, the free tier is the future. And the comment says, all the tutorials are based on the paid BTP version. So do we have maybe a roadmap date for when it will be part of free tier or more information there? Bhagat?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me take that. So one clarification that yes, it's not on the free tier yet. It'll be coming very soon, probably within a quarter or so. But in the meantime, the community edition of AppGyver has all the capabilities that you would have in a free tier. It is, and all the capabilities that you have in the paid version as well. So I would encourage folks to use the community version. It has exactly the same set of capabilities, and it's completely free.
Okay, and that's appgyver.com, right? So to get to
That's
that,
right. That's
perfect. And the
That's
tutorials that are in the tutorial navigator then can also be done with that
Absolutely.
version. Okay, perfect. That's great
Absolutely.
clarification. All right. So I think we have time for a few more, right?
Yeah. So there is one around the integration topic. Is it possible to compose human and process orchestration, leveraging the BTP integration suite applications, involving different SAP solutions like S/4HANA and Ariba, by using low-code, no-code framework? I think we addressed the question a little bit also before, but maybe you want to allude on that. Sebastian Bagat.
Yeah, let me answer that. So there's two ways how to answer that question. Number one is that also within the integration suite itself, low-code, no-code usability or developer experience is fostered and is used in the newer versions. So that means even SAP Integration Suite fosters low-code, no-code as a developer experience pattern. Second part, yes, I mean, all our BTP services can be integrated with each other. It basically means I can build an application in Business Application Studio and then use also integration services to connect to different backend services.
Excellent. All right, we have two similar questions, so I'm going to combine them. Maybe Bagat, this one is for you. So the question is around the positioning between Appgyver and Mendix. So basically, how do they differentiate from each other, and if we will continue to offer Mendix in the future?
So, Appgyver is our, as you mentioned, we just launched it as a strategic sort of no-code, low-code tool where, you can compose applications and, connect them back, extend our SAP applications or create new applications. And, what we heard from customers is they wanted something that is tightly integrated with BTP. We talked a lot about how, Appgyver inherits a lot of the capabilities. They wanted something that's tightly integrated with our LOB applications, and that's what, we've delivered with Appgyver. Now, having said that, just like we have with ProCode or low-code, we offer customers a choice. So if customers would prefer to use Mendix along with our BTP services, that's fine too. For our ProCode, many customers use VS Code. We continue to support that. So we will support different environments because we do want to give our customers choice and meet them where they are currently and where their skill set is. But in terms of the investment that you see us putting in, you'll see a lot of investment going into these tools that we covered at TechEd.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
Great. Yeah, thanks so much for going through all these many questions, and also thanks to you on the screens for bringing them up. This is your event, so you're really making it your event.
Yeah, definitely. And just maybe to end the expert Q&A, I just wanted to mention, like it was mentioned in the executive keynote, there is a low-code, no-code learning journey. And that's where really people can kind of dig deeper into the capabilities of our low-code, no-code solutions and really start using them and play around with them, right? Or anything else you guys would recommend to continue the learning experience?
Definitely, please use also everything that is available at TechEd, the low-code, no-code learning journey, and of course, I'm personally a big fan of the SAP Community, so that should be for all interested developers the single-stop shop.
Excellent, and
continuous learning happens.
We love to hear that. So thank you guys very much for joining, and continue to enjoy the rest of TechEd.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay, bye.
All right.
So we already started addressing, right, where to learn more about low-code, no-code. So we heard that there is this use case, create a custom mobile app to extend HR capabilities. In case you want to understand which sessions you can look into from TechEd that support this, check out my blog post on the SAP community around use cases for TechEd 2021. Also, the track sessions that Sebastian just mentioned. We have 4 that are related to this directly. We have the sessions Dev 111, Dev 104, Dev 161, and INT 261. So go there, and also in general, we also heard in the learning platform, SAP Learning, go there, click on the Keep Learning tab on the TechEd webpage, go to SAP Learning, and there are also all kinds of learning journeys explaining to you how to use low-code, no-code functionalities and the respective tools. So a lot out there that you can use. You can also post your questions in the SAP community. So a lot of ways now to keep on learning on this.
Yeah, like Sebastian mentioned, he is a big fan, and we are a big fan of the SAP community, and I know several of you out there are as well. So just go to community.sap.com, check out, just search for low-code, no-code, and go to the Q&A section if you have any related questions that you want the community to answer.
Okay, great.
So what do we have next?
So let's now have a look to our partner Tricentis that can support you in the important task of testing with their test automation tools. So let's have a look into that.
Hey everyone, I'm really excited to be chatting with two leaders from Tricentis. Tricentis is a market leader in test automation. Wesley Leffel, Senior Product Manager and SAP Solution Architect, and Brad Purcell, Business Development Director for SAP Partner Alliance. Wesley, my first question is for you. Companies are moving faster than ever. What advice do you have for the audience to keep up with the ever-changing speed of business?
Yep, that's a great question. So first, I would like to acknowledge some of the nuance in the SAP projects and transformation programs, right? Maybe it's a cloud lift and shift or a brownfield. Maybe you guys are embarking on a 3 to 5 year S4 transformation project. You know, while all these projects and programs need different things, they all need testing. And I think that's what we're here to talk about today. Brad?
Yeah, for me, it's 2 words, right? And the more automation you have in place now, that's going to pay dividends down the road. I often use a marathon analogy, and the big question is when do you start training, right? And even Olympic athletes train way before their actual race day. And think of a race day as your go live. And when we think about intelligent automation, it's not about just test automation alone. It's knowing what to automate. And companies can be smarter by leveraging change impact analysis tools to do just like this. So think of it as their version of a GPS. So something that's always going to keep them on the fastest and safest path and always focused on the right things at the right time.
Nice. So Wesley, if someone watching wants to get started with automation, where would you recommend they begin?
Yeah, I think the different programs and projects have sort of slightly different entry points, but to echo on top of what Brad is saying, the mantra is don't wait, right? Pick an individual initiative or a small project and try and implement and realize some gains from that individual project, that small scale effort, right? That way it's easy to encapsulate, to sort of prove the benefit, to get the teams adopted, using the tools, etc. Brad?
Yeah, for me, I talk to companies all the time, and they typically care about 3 things, and that's speed, risk, and cost. And I ask them to stack rank those. And the companies that I talk to that are really getting it is they stack rank risk and speed as their number 1, number 2 priorities. And they know that if they solve for speed or risk, right, they will, cost will solve itself. And so, you know, when you start thinking of what, you know, testing is, right, it's evolving into this value stream management. And value stream management is that evolution of quality assurance. Quality assurance is actually evolving at a higher level, a business level, to be business assurance.
Incredible. Brad, I'd love to stick with you. The industry is abuzz with all things CI, CD. What is your role in this ever-evolving space?
Well, CI/CD to me is all about speed, right? To go fast, right? But you have to do it at a safe pace. So when you're moving to the cloud, either an SAP or even non-SAP, right? These changes are going to come faster and faster, and companies have to consider the maintenance factor of their automation as they move faster and as they move into the cloud. And codeless automation provides companies to do exactly that. They provide that ability to do in sprint automation. And when you're thinking about that journey to the cloud, you got to think about the end-to-end business processes, and those business processes cover both SAP and non-SAP technologies. So if you're able to move fast and you're able to move within a CI/CD type of delivery model, right, you're able to synchronize SAP and non-SAP technology release cadences. And what this does is it allows companies to take advantage of any intelligent technology that fits their business needs or develop new innovations. Abadesi, back to you.
Wow, sounds really exciting. Thank you both for your great insights today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.